Thank you very much, Gavin. The stage is yours.
No, thank you very much, everyone. First of all, welcome. And thank you everyone for putting a little bit of time aside to actually listen to what I have to say to you today. My name is Gavin. I work for an amazing property called Azura Boutique Retreats. We are on a very small island off the coast of Mosambik. Now, of course, the first question people would maybe ask is, what type of client do you send to my property or my side of the world? There is often a misperception. It's not always that you're going to have a client maybe going from Switzerland or Germany or Europe all the way to an island in Mozambique and then go all the way back home again. Some people do, but most of the clients that come, I would say 90% of the clients that stay with us are clients that have come to Southern Africa to explore a wonderful Southern African experience. So, of course, people will go on safari to have great safaris, possibly to Botswana, to Victoria Falls, South Africa, Cape Town, the winelands. And when people are there, they want to have a wonderful beach experience with a few days to relax and unwind and recharge their batteries whilst they're down there. And that's the business we are getting. So people are doing a combination of Southern African safaris, winelands, and of course adding on a little bit of beach at the end. So when we look at where we are in the world at the moment, and it's quite interesting, us as Azura, as a brand, we've had our best 3 years ever in a row. 2022, 2023, and then 2024, last year was our best year ever. And people are often saying, wow, what are we doing that is so good that we're getting so busy? But if you look at where we are at the moment, coming out of COVID as human beings, we've realized that our lives are hugely important. So we need to become a bit more selfish to ourselves. And we said, how do we reward ourselves? Yes, going on great vacations. But most people that go on a vacation have also said, I'm working so hard. I'm so stressed out. I'm so tired. We need to go on holiday. And what people need, and I call it the 3 R's. And the first R is people need more relaxation. One of the most important things for all of us, we need to relax more. Find time to relax because we've become so busy. The second thing we need to do more of is to recharge our batteries. It's the same as our mobile phones. When our phones go flat, we suddenly go, oh, we must plug it in and then the phone must charge, and then your phone gets used best when it's got energy. Same as us as human beings. We can become the best husband or wife or brother, sister, child, work colleague when our batteries are recharged. So people want to get away to relax. They want to get away to recharge their batteries, and they want to get away so that you can reconnect again with yourself as an individual and, of course, those people that are important to you. And when you reconnect with yourself through a recharged battery and relaxation, you become a better version of yourself and you have a better life. So what's happening is more people, when they see these incredible pictures of the beauty of these islands and the sun and the sand and the warm weather and the warm ocean, everyone's going, that's something where I need to be at the moment. And that is why we've become so popular and so busy, is because more and more people have realized that this is something that they actually need in their lives. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys a couple of slides today and go through a little bit about my property. Can you all see that particular picture at the moment?
Yes, we can. Yeah.
Perfect. So our property, first of all, what makes our property and our destination so amazing is that we are very, very easy to get to and we are very easily accessible. So as you know, Mozambique as a country is a massive country of 3,800 kilometers long from Tanzania all the way down to South Africa. This is the same distance as Canada to Miami in America. It is huge. It's massive. And we are in a very small little area known as the Bazaruta Archipelago. That means we are 750 kilometers north of the South African border, and we are over 1,400 kilometers south of the Tanzania border. Now, you may have heard recently on the news that there were some political unrests and there were some issues in Mozambique as a country around the presidential election. That is true, yes. There were a few protests that happened down south on the South African border by Maputo and some protests on the northern Tanzania border up north. That is far away from us. Nothing happened and there were no issues where we were. So as a precaution, a few governments, including your Swiss government, did put a travel warning out that said to clients, we just would like to warn you against traveling to certain parts of Mozambique. Those are the parts where you would find some issues like Maputo, that's 750 kilometers away from us, and Pemba up north in the Cabo Delgado province up north. What the great news has been that over the last week, a lot of the governments are now reverting back and taking the travel advisories away. The UK one did it on Friday last week. The Dutch one did it last week as well. And we're just waiting for a few others to follow. So please note as well, even when those travel advisories were out, it does not apply to our part of the country because it's totally safe where we are. What is great about the part of the country where we are located on an island off the coast of Vilanculos. So how does one get to Vilanculos? Every single day there's a flight that flies from Johannesburg into Vilanculos. So it's an 80-minute flight, 1 hour and 20 minutes from Johannesburg to get into the town of Vilanculos. There's also a flight 4 days a week in the second half of the year that goes directly from Nelspruit, from Kruger National Park, directly to Vilanculos. This airline is Airlink. They are the most reliable and the safest airline to fly in the Southern African skies. So it is very easy to combine your South African and Southern African itinerary to link on with a beach experience. Traditionally, we always used to find people would end off at the beach. But what we're now starting to find, a lot more people are wanting to start off at the beach because you're coming from a very stressful working environment where you've been working very hard and you've been stressed out, and you want to first go and relax for a few days, get a beautiful suntan, and then go to trendy Cape Town and go on safari and look great for the wild animals, in the bush. So first of all, that's a great advantage for us. The second reason that makes it really spectacular, the islands of the Bazaruta Archipelago is a national marine park that's a protected area because of this incredible beauty and the biodiversity that this area offers. We are on an island called Benguerra Island. Benguerra Island is only 6 kilometers long by 3.5 kilometers wide. It's a tiny island, but the beauty of this side of the world are the ever-changing patterns in the ocean between the tides. So this incredible white sandbanks get formed at low tide when you have these channels. And the nice thing is, sometimes at low tide, you can walk for 2 or 3 miles in and around the ocean and find the most incredible fish that is trapped and shells. And you can have incredible private picnics, or you can have the best Instagram photo to brag to your friends. It's really such a spectacular and beautiful side of the world. On that island that we are on, Benguerra Island, we are located on the northwestern sector of the island. The reason that is great is northwest means that we're looking towards the African continent, which is the west. So we are facing sunset. So we actually see the sun setting over the African continent every single day. And you get the most incredible sunsets. Every afternoon, you have some wind that blows from the southeast, which is from the right of that picture, towards the island, towards Africa. And because we are on that left-hand side, it means that we are on the protected side, so we don't feel that wind. And of course, we look across onto that beauty. Just to show you on this picture, Azura Benguerra Island, you can see is on the northwest. Just north of us, 1 kilometer north, is our Peri Peri Beach Club, which I'll tell you a little bit about later. And then just to the south of us, on the southwestern side of the island, is our new property that's opening in May this year called Azura Marlin Beach. Azura Marlin Beach was the old Marlin Lodge that was opened many, many years ago, that actually was the first property that did hospitality and tourism in this region. That property burnt down in 2012 and has been lying there ever since. We've bought that property, we're renovating it, we're rebuilding it, and we're now going to open that property in May this year. So the beauty is we'll have 2 properties on that island, and that's going to be very, very, very exciting. Now, if we look at Azura Benguerra Island, people often ask me, and they say to me, Gavin, what would you say is probably the biggest strength of your property in that region? Now, for me, this picture says it all. So first of all, we are a boutique hotel that has 20 individual villas. We have a few different villa categories, which means we have a cheaper entry-level beach villa, which means that the room is slightly smaller and the swimming pool is slightly smaller. And then we have much bigger infinity villas, royal beach villas, and of course a presidential villa. But it doesn't matter. If you book the entry-level beach villa, which are the 3 smallest villas, or whether you book the biggest royal beach villa, your location is the same. So every single villa gets a VIP beach location right on the beach with its own individual private plunge pool. If you look at the left-hand side of the screen, you will see the first setup is the massive presidential villa that has got 3 individual private suites. The next 2 villas are the royal beach villas, which are my biggest and most exclusive villas. The next 3 are my entry-level beach villas. You can see that the size is slightly smaller. They're still big and spacious, but the pool is a bit smaller and the room is a bit smaller. This assists a client with a little bit more of a budget, that he can still stay in a fantastic property, but he still gets the same beach location. Seychelles doesn't have this. Mauritius doesn't have this. Zanzibar does not have this. They do not have every villa category in the same location. You will know if you want the best location, you often have to pay the most amount of money for the best room category. Not with us. Every single villa is right on the beach with the best view and location. Everything about Azura Benguerra Island is about enjoying the most incredible amount of space and freedom and luxury and relaxation. Everything looks out onto that beach and onto that ocean because you are only a few steps away. You know, when most of your clients look at pictures in a brochure, there are obviously these kind of images that seduce them and make them excited and want to come away to a destination like this. And then often they get to a place and then it's not quite like what the picture showed them. Not with us. You are getting exactly what you see in our images, and you get that beauty of being right on the beach itself. So to give you an idea, and just to flash through a couple of pictures of our villas, you will see the big one on the left is the big presidential villa. There's one big room on the left-hand side. There's one big room on the right-hand side. That picture on the right, you'll see the roof is a slightly blue color. That's because we were replacing the thatch when we did this picture, so it's got a brand new thatch on it. Then the next 2 villas are our royal beach villas. You can see how massive each villa's own private individual pool is. Absolutely spacious and absolutely spectacular. And like I said to you, everything is about being right on the beach. So this is a view from a villa's deck. So when you would open your villa sliding doors from your bedroom, every single villa has a big wooden deck where you have a comfortable day bed sofa to sit on, have an afternoon nap on, read a book, put your feet up. That looks over your own private individual swimming pool. You will also have your own table and chairs on your deck so that if you want to, sit in the morning, put your coffee on the table, maybe you want to play a board game, play some cards, read a magazine, or you maybe want to even have your dining or your breakfast or your lunch and your dinner in the privacy of your own deck. We have that. You've got your own private individual swimming pool, plus you have the deck with your sun loungers and an umbrella for you to suntan. And in front of your villa, we have what we call a sala on the beach. So that's a big thatched structure that has a round day bed with cushions so that if you want to relax and lie out on the beach under some shade and have an afternoon nap or be a little bit comfortable and romantic with your partner, you have that as an option. I call it the luxury of choice because maybe what's important to Vanessa may not be what's important to me or you. Maybe I like to sit on the sun lounges like a lizard and lie there in suntan. Maybe Vanessa wants to be on the sala under the thatch, cuddling with her partner and enjoying a cocktail. Or maybe someone else prefers to sit further back with their feet up on a sofa and reading a lovely book. Here you have everything. Also, hugely important for us, every single one of our villas gets its own dedicated butler host. So this is a trained local Mozambican guy that is there to service you for the entire length of your stay. So maybe Vanessa and her partner are staying in this villa. We then allocate her, let's say, Pedro. Pedro is there to understand what you want. His goal is to ensure you have a phenomenal stay. So when you are thirsty and you want a cocktail, you wave and Pedro will come and ask for your order. He goes and fetches your drink for you. Who cleans your deck and sweeps it and makes sure the pool is clean? Pedro does that for you. Who's going to set up a romantic table for you for dinner this evening? Pedro's going to do that. Who serves your dinner this evening? Pedro serves your dinner. So every client gets a personalized butler host to ensure that they have the most phenomenal level of service. As I spoke to you earlier, the colors and the beauty in this side of the world are spectacular. So guests just want to be out in nature. They want to be on the beach. They want to be on the ocean. They want to be hidden away on various sectors of the island or sandbanks and have private picnics. But if you look at the style of our hotel and our villas, Azura was very influential in helping the local community. So we got the local community to build our property. But also what was important was to bring in local artworks and local colors. This side of the world is all about the beautiful blues, and the different colors of the sky and the ocean and the sandy beach and the textures. So throughout our property, it's very, very high and luxurious, but we like to call it bare feet luxury. When you walk into any one of our villas and you walk into our property, you want to feel that you can walk with sand on your feet, and you want to take your clothes off immediately, put your bathing suit on, and feel that you are on a most amazing vacation. All of our villas have a centralized bed in the middle that opens up looking towards the exterior doors that open out directly onto a beautiful deck and the views into the ocean. All of our villas in their bathrooms have a beautiful indoor shower as well as an outdoor shower for those that want to shower outdoors. Some of them even have outdoor bars, and some of them even have indoor bars. So again, like we say, the luxury of choice. Remember, people in nature often don't spend a lot of time inside their villa when you're on a beach destination. You spend a lot of time outside your villa, on the decks, at your pool, on the beach, in the ocean. But we create the comforts in both environments. A lot of your high-end products and a lot of your safari lodges, you often find have comfortable seating inside the room. But when you get outside onto the decks, they're just normal chairs that you sit on. We wanted to create a lot of comfort outdoors because we know people spend quite a lot of time outdoors. So just a few images to show you how beautiful and how spacious our different villas are. But like I said to you again, it doesn't really matter whether you book my entry-level villa or my very high and luxurious villa. You get the same level of service, you get the same beauty when you come out your villas, and you get exactly the same views. Okay, what's nice about having individual pools, Mosambik can be quite tidal. So at low tides, the ocean can go sometimes 300, 400, 500 meters away, which to me is the best time of the day because it means you can walk out into those spectacular and those beautiful areas. But if you're too lazy to walk out into the ocean for a swim, then you have your own private plunge pool so you can have a swim, in your own individual pool. And then when it comes to cuisine and dining and eating, this is something very, very special to us. A lot of us in a modern world, we end up eating quickly because we need to add fuel to our body, or we sit by the television and we eat, or we go and have a quick meal and then we move on. At Azura, everything slows down at mealtime. So we create the most beautiful, amazing settings for every single mealtime. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you will get a different dining location set up by your butler, and it'll be romantic like this. Sometimes you have a client on honeymoon, or it's a client maybe celebrating a 20th or 30th wedding anniversary or a 50th birthday. And you come and you say, Gavin, please, it's the guy's birthday on the 3rd of November. Can you do something special for him for his birthday? Yes, we will. We'll bake a special cake and we'll do something. But every day, every client is going to get something special. So it's like having a celebration every single day. And it allows you to not just enjoy the beauty of the food and the cuisine, but the setting, the environment, and it becomes a conversation piece between couples and families. Your butler will ask you where you would like to dine, or can he surprise you? And most guests will say, no, surprise me. But you may go, oh, you know what, we like that spot. Can we maybe have dinner under that tree tomorrow? Or can we maybe have breakfast with our feet in the ocean? Yes, we can do that for you. The guys are there to create this incredible, unique magic and things that's important to you as a client. Sometimes you don't know what you want because you don't know it exists as an option, which is why we are trained to make sure we impress you. It's quite a funny story because our butlers like to challenge their guests. They want to hear the guests say the words, wow. And in the morning meetings, they brag. They go, oh, my client said the word wow 7 times yesterday. Then the other butler is jealous. He says, no, okay, tomorrow I'm going to do something better. And then the next morning he's bragging, oh, my customer told me wow 6 times today. And they have this competition to actually impress their clients, which is why people love coming to Azura. So what else can you do when you are in this side of the world? Of course, there's a lot of phenomenal and brilliant activities to do. Personally, the best activity of all is the thing most of us forgot how to do, and that is called nothing. Yes, you just sit, relax for a couple of hours, recharge your batteries, reconnect with your soul, and then you can go and do some exciting experiences. So yes, we can do horse riding on the beach in the ocean. We have our own traditional Mozambican dhow sailboat. So we go out and we do a beautiful sunset sail, have a cocktail in your hand and enjoy a sail. We do an island drive. It is really exciting to drive around the small island and explore and understand the local community. Go up the red dunes, look at the freshwater lakes, understand some of the fauna and the flora and the bird life, that's on the island. We're fantastic and phenomenal, deep sea fishing. We are one of the second best black marlin fishing waters in the world in this particular side of the world. We do big game fishing, which is tag and release. So if you catch a big fish, you take a photograph with it, you kiss the fish and you say sorry, and you put him back in the ocean, and we tag it, and then we can actually track the movements of that fish for many, many, many years. We do these incredible private picnic setups with bean bags and a table and an umbrella, and we can even do a barbecue for you out in the middle of nowhere. It's really such a spectacular destination to get out and do things and to relax in the most amazing beauty. So one of the signature activities that we do is an activity called an island hop. So an island hop would mean we would travel in a boat for 15 minutes. We would get to the big towering sand dune on the tip of Bazaruta Island. When we finished with that, we then go on to Pansy Island, which is a constant raised sandbank just with sand in the middle of the ocean, where you find the most incredible pansy shells, and you walk around there and take some good Instagram photos. We then go to 2 Mile Reef. 2 Mile Reef has now been rated one of the best snorkeling reefs in the world. The reason for this is just past 2 Mile Reef, there's a big drop off into the ocean that goes down over 2.5 miles into the Indian Ocean, into the Mozambican Channel. And what happens is cooler waters from so far down come up with the currents and wash over that reef. And as they wash over the reef, it is protecting that reef from the bleaching of the sun. So where most other reefs, like the Great Barrier Reef in Australia and around the world, the reefs are deteriorating because of global warming and the heat of the sun, our reefs are protected and they're spawning and they're growing and they are improving. But the secret is when those colder currents come from the depths, they bring up some nutrients that also flow over that reef. Now, nutrients are like good, tasty, great food for fish. So this is attracting all the sea life onto these reefs, which is why we have such phenomenal snorkeling and diving, because we have so much sea life around the good quality reefs. And of course, what happens is if those fish are there, then the slightly bigger fish want to be there because they will eat the small fish. And then the tuna will come and eat the big fish. And then, of course, the black marlin, they come along and want to eat the tuna, which is why we have such good black marlin fishing waters. And then once we've done the snorkel or a dive at 2 Mile Reef, we then take you onto the northern sand spit of the island. That's a 3-kilometer long stretch of just pure white sand, where we create a beautiful setting just for you and your partner. And you will have a wonderful picnic and have a couple of hours just relaxing and drinking a couple of cocktails. So that's Azura Benguerra Island. Now I take you onto our beach club. So Azura Peri Peri Beach Club was the most amazing concept that our owners experienced. They went into the south of France and they experienced a wonderful beach club in the south of France. And I thought, hold on a second, this would be a great concept to bring to Mozambique, because what happens is you have a lot of your clients that are relaxing around their own villa, their own decks, their own pools. They want to have something where they can maybe let their hair down a bit and have a little bit of fun. So Peri Peri Beach Club is 1 kilometer up the beach from our property. And the whole idea of Peri Beach Club is this experience where we have a big centralized main bar area with a stunning roof, with ragged poles and thatch, with swings that are hanging from the beams, with barmen that are flicking and throwing and making amazing, different type of cocktails. We'll play some cool, funky music. There's a nice plunge pool in the middle. There's lots of different areas of cushions and short tables to the ground and sun lounges or tables set further up. We even have tree houses where you can go up into a tree house and sit on a daybed and enjoy the view. And you'll have a wonderful meal at Peri Peri. So Peri Peri is currently open twice a week on a Wednesday and a Saturday. And this is free of charge for an Azura guest. You will go there and have your lunch, and the type of food you would get at Peri Peri will be more traditional, spicy, almost the strong Portuguese flavored type of cuisine and food. Often your espetadas and your open grilled Peri Peri prawns. We even have a pizza oven that you can create and make your own pizza. We'll have a beautiful seafood pizza made for you. The reason we've done that, a lot of guests that come to us after being on safari, they are so used to eating big, heavy meat dishes that they've forgotten what a pizza is. Some of the clients, especially the Americans, are, oh my God, I can't believe I got a pizza on an island. But we are there to create the most incredible magic and unique experiences. So Peri Peri is quite a lot of fun. But what also works well with Peri Peri, we sometimes get multi-generational family groups celebrating a special event, or small groups or small weddings, etc. So we can then set Peri Peri up as a private event venue where they don't have to have fun or make a noise and disturb other guests. So it does become quite a useful venue. One of the big attractions at Peri Peri is in the middle of your tables, we put a little barbecue, coal barbecue, or braai if you understand South African, and you can actually grill your own food on the braai, or your butler can do it for you. And we bring you the different flavors and the different types of Peri Peri sauces, and you can mix and create your food and flavor it the way you would want it. Guests absolutely love Peri Peri, and it's a great option, to do something every couple of days away from the property. And then, of course, that brings me to Azura Marlin Beach. So our new property that I spoke to you about is opening in May this year. Azura Marlin Beach is going to be a little bit different. This is going to be a lot more lighter, more airy, more fun, more funky. We are only opening Azura Marlin Beach. There's going to be 10 villas only. So it's going to be quite private and exclusive. All the villas are set a little bit up on a dune that has a nice view looking down, out onto the beach and the ocean. And your rooms are going to be all quite light and white. So the whole concept of Marlin was to create something a bit more affordable. So it's a cheaper, more affordable option to Azura Benguerra Island. Very often the clients have spent all their money and their budget on their safari lodges. And then when they come to the islands, they don't have so much money left. So they end up staying on a less inferior property, or they end up on the mainland. And that's not as nice and as lovely as being on an island. So the whole idea of Marlin was to come up with a concept and an idea to look after the clients with a little bit more budget in mind. Same high level of service, same butler hosts that are going to look after you, same brilliant cuisine, and the same phenomenal activities that you're going to have out there. So just to give you an idea, that's what a Marlin Beach is going to be. Of course, we'll have a lot more images and stuff when the property gets built, completed in the next couple of months. But it's hugely exciting that we now have this property as an alternative as well. So, guys, thank you very much. That's pretty much everything that I have to tell you. Let me know if anyone has any questions.
Thank you very much, Kevin.
Wow. I hope you all like my coffee mug.
I love it. I love it. And especially, the pictures, I told you at the beginning, I wish I was in Mosambik right now. That did not change after your presentation. We actually have one question. It's about the weather and the temperatures in June, July, or in general. What would you suggest?
Okay. Very, very, very good question. So we are very lucky that where we are located in the central region of Mozambique, we are protected by Madagascar, which sits a few hundred miles into the ocean. So we don't get a lot of wind and we don't get a lot of rain. So when you look at average rainfall in Mozambique as a country, it's an average based on the entire country. But if you look at our region, the Bazaruta Archipelago, we have very little rainfall in the year. So if we look at our seasons, our summer months are between November and February. Those summer months, you're looking at around about 36, 37 degrees centigrade or degrees Celsius in the day, which is very, very hot. And your evening temperatures are always 9 degrees cooler, between 8 and 9 degrees cooler. So in the evenings, you're looking at around about 27, 26, 27 degrees centigrade in the evenings. It's very, very hot in summer. Because of that heat in summer, you often create some subtropical thunder showers that will only happen slightly off the islands at around about 3:30 in the afternoon. That thunder shower, if it happens, is maybe happening for 15 minutes, where you have a downpour of rain, and then it is sunny again. Okay. Our normal rainfall in the summer months, if it does get a bit wet, is normally happening at around about between 4 o'clock and 5 o'clock in the morning. But the minute the sun is getting higher, it's getting so hot that the sun is burning off the clouds and we don't get the rain. If you look at our winter months is between May and August. May, June, July, August. That's winter. Our winter, you can't really call it winter because you're looking at 26, 27 degrees centigrade or degrees Celsius in the day and maybe 18, 19 degrees in the evening. And people call that cold. No. You as Swiss, you know that's not cold. And in the winter months, you don't get rainfall at all. So winter is a very, very good time because it's not very, very hot and it is actually quite pleasant. Now, some people will talk about there are certain times they've said, oh, we hear you can get cyclones in Mozambique. There is cyclone activity or tropical storms that build up in the eastern Indian Ocean that move towards Madagascar. If that storm hits Madagascar, it dissipates and it disappears. If that storm goes north of Madagascar or south of Madagascar, it then moves in towards Mozambique and it can build up in size and it sometimes can have an effect. Now, keeping in mind, I explained to you that the country is 3,800 kilometers long. A tropical storm on a worst case scenario can only have an effect of about 150 kilometers. So if it's 1,000 kilometers away from me, we don't even get a breeze or a wind. You can be unlucky that the storm maybe comes into your area, and this has happened. We've had in the last 25 years, we've had 3 tropical storms. 1 was a cyclone and 2 were tropical storms that moved fair enough close to our area. The cyclone one, everyone knew it was coming. We closed everything down and the guests didn't even arrive. The other 2 were tropical storms. And what they did was they didn't even have an effect on the wind damage, but there was water damage. Because the storm came at the same time as high tide, there was some water and erosion that happened on the properties, and we were closed for about 8 to 10 days while we had to clean up all the beach and do everything. Other than that, it's good to go all year. That tropical storm time of the year is normally between the 17th, 18th of February and about the 6th or 7th of March, maybe. But the rest of the year, and that's what makes us really good, is that we're an all-round destination. Good weather.
Thank you. 2 other questions came up. One is, at the beginning, you told us about how to arrive, how to get to your property. And the other one is with the malaria. So could you just quickly recap how to reach
Yes.
Azura? And yeah.
Malaria, perfect. Okay, so to reach us, you can, if you have a lot of money, you can charter your own airplane from anywhere in the world. But generally, there would be a flight every day between Johannesburg and Vilankulos. Okay, so there's two airlines that fly. There's Airlink that flies South Africa, Johannesburg to Vilankulos, and Nelspruit Kruger National Park to Vilankulos. Then there's also the Mozambican airline called LAM, Linhas Aéreas de Mozambique. They are flying a few days a week, but they travel from Maputo to Vilankulos. I would imagine 99.999% of your clients will not be going to Maputo, so they won't use LAM. The best, most reliable airline is Airlink. They are exceptionally good. They're always on time. They don't lose your luggage. They're a good airline to fly. So to get there, that's great. Once you arrive in Vilankulos, okay, you will need to go through customs. Now, remember, the airport in Mozambique is not very big. So it's very, very simple. People used to need a visa to get into Mozambique, but Swiss nationals no longer, there's 29 countries that no longer need a visa to get into Mozambique. So you can travel in there without a visa. The only thing it's going to cost you, they need to put a stamp in your passport to say that they've given you a free entry into the country. And for that stamp, they charge you $10 US. I call it lunch money, or maybe coffee money. But that's fine. You can pay that in cash with euros, or you can pay it in dollars, or you can use a card. If you are not one of the 29 countries and you need a visa, you get your visa on arrival at the airport anyway, and that's costing you $55 per person. So we always advise clients, just travel with some US dollars cash on you, because you never know. Once you arrive, we then put you on a helicopter, and you fly 10 minutes on a helicopter directly onto the island. Okay. Coming back to your question about malaria. So Mozambique as a country is known as a malaria area. Okay. And it's probably a high malaria area. However, the islands of Mozambique are very low malaria. The reason that is, malaria is a spread of a certain type of mosquito that is around stagnant water where the mosquito can breed. So on African mainlands, you often get high malaria because of that. On the islands, there's no malaria. They have done extensive testing for years, and they have never discovered any malaria-carrying mosquitoes on the islands in the Bazaruta archipelago. But you do get mosquitoes. Not a lot, but you do get mosquitoes. However, what we do is, obviously, all of your rooms have mosquito netting. All of the rooms have air conditioning. All of the rooms have citronella candles. You have a spray that you spray, and like you would have at Safari, that makes the mosquitoes hate you. But us as a hotel, we also have a special combination of a mixture of a chemical that we put into a very special machine that blows out a fog, smoke. And once every week, we take that and we blow it under the decks, under the thatch of the roofs, on all the poles. And what that is, that poison, it'll kill a mosquito if it's an insecticide, but it's safe for humans. But if a mosquito comes and lands on that pole and his feet touch that poison is a slow release poison. And that mosquito tonight goes back to his home, and he's going to infect every other mosquito around him, and then by tomorrow they're all going to be dead. So we reduce the life of the mosquito around the property anyway. So you actually don't even need to take any mosquito or malaria tablets when you're coming and staying in the Bazaruta archipelago. It's not needed. Remember, malaria prophylactics don't stop you from getting malaria. All it does, it stops the virus in your system for a certain period of time, so that you don't get malaria whilst you're in some remote African country where there's no hospital. By the time you come home to Switzerland, then you will maybe, let me go see the doctor, and you're in a safe place. That's why people take malaria tablets. So when you come to us, you don't need to take the tablets, because we do have, if needed, we do have big net care hospitals in Vilankulos that we've never ever had to use for a client ever, because no one's ever contracted malaria while staying at Azura. Okay. I hope that answers the question.
Most definitely does. Thank you so much, Kevin. No other questions came up, but Zu allen, die jetzt dabei sind, wenn ihr noch weitere Fragen habt, könnt ihr uns per E-Mail schreiben auf africa@knecht-reisen.ch und dann tun wir sehr gern die Fragen beantworten. I just told them if any further questions come up, they need to reach out to,
and
our
of course,
email.
from my side, I just want to say to everyone, for us, we see Knecht Reisen as our number one partner in the Swiss market. We've worked with you for many, many years. You understand our product very well. And I think if any agent is considering, of course, booking my hotel or a Mozambican stay, they are really best suited in dealing through you and your team and your company. And I just want to say thank you to you guys from Knecht Reisen. Thank you for all the years and years and years of everything you guys have been doing, not just for me, for Mozambique, but for travel to the entire world. The amount of energy and effort that you put into helping people have amazing vacations, I think, is really important. And the same goes to all of your agents that are listening today. Thank you to each and every one of you for making other people's dreams come true. And I'd like to excite you and tell you that you need to, at some point, you must bring your husbands, bring your friends, or even come on your own and come and stay at my hotel, because your life will change. You'll have a better life after coming to stay at Azura. Thank you.
Thank you. And they also say thank you, and it was really interesting. I can agree to that. It was really interesting. Thank you so much. As I said, this webinar is recorded and everyone will get the recording by email. Okay, thank you so much, Gavin. It was a great pleasure, and have a great day further.
Thank you,
and
Viva Switzerland, eh? I'm going to go eat Swiss chocolate now.
Oh, lucky you. I'm going to have lunch now.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye, Gavin.